We all know what to do when a prospect says yes and becomes a client. But what happens when a prospect says no? And you know that the vendor they selected is less reputable than you. Let's have ourselves a pocket sized pep talk, and I'll give you an interesting approach for a most difficult situation.
A Pocket Sized Pep Talk, the podcast that can help energize your business and your life with a quick, inspiring message. Now, here's your host, Rob Jollis.
Let me set up a scenario for you that might sound familiar. You've worked hard to secure business with a prospect whose business you really wanted. Although there are a handful of competitors, it really should have come down to you and maybe one other strong competitor. Your prospect finally decides whom to give their business to, and it isn't you or your strong competitor. Your prospect tells you that they've chosen a vendor whose reputation is spotty at best, and you know this vendor isn't qualified to conduct the business they've won. Now what? Well, the first instinct is to tell the prospect that they've made a mistake. Someone has to do it. You might as well be the one. At least you'll be in good favor with them, or when they become disillusioned with their current vendor, they can turn to you. That might be instinctive, but it's a dangerous move. It's not your place to warn the prospect of another vendor, and you don't want to be perceived as taking cheap shots at the competition. Okay, well, the next instinct is to dig in and keep fighting. There are boatloads of old sales books and old sales managers that would be proud of you. Again, that might be instinctive, but it's another dangerous move. The fact that you have a prospect's ear after you've lost the business is a classy move by the prospect. Many run and hide for fear they'll have to deal with a stubborn and whining salesperson who can't take no for an answer. So, if you're not going to tell the prospect they made a mistake and you're not going to try to keep selling, what do? I think your response should sound something like this. Of course, I'm disappointed, but certainly I respect your decision and I appreciate the opportunity that you gave me to earn your business. With your permission, I'd like to check back in with you in about 3 months, or a period of time that makes sense in your particular line of work, to simply hear how you're managing. Would that be okay with you? Now, you're not taking a big risk with that question, and the rewards could be substantial. Most prospects will respect a salesperson who's dignified and has the ability to lose gracefully. But you've also done something that's very important. You've cleared the way to move through any screens and take a proactive approach to following up with this prospect. If the vendor they choose is as mismatched as you predict, your timing will be appreciated. If the vendor they choose is doing the job, your disciplined follow-up will also be appreciated and continue to lay a foundation for future work. Most importantly, you won't be the salesperson who attacks the competition or the whining salesperson who can't take no for an answer. Instead, you'll be the salesperson who handled things in a classy manner, just like your client.
Thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed today's show, please rate and recommend it on iTunes, Outcast, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also get more information on this show and Rob at jollis.com.